Every weekend we see a dip in the number of people getting tested. Can we please give a call out to people to get tested on the weekend as well? Our goal is to have as many people tested every day of the week as possible, and we want to get as close to that 8,000 number and even exceed it. So please come forward if you have even the mildest symptoms, if you work with vulnerable communities, you live in a hotspot and you worry you've been in contact with someone who has the virus, please come forward and get tested. It is so important for us to be able to continue to capture the data, to be able to continue to follow up on anyone who has the virus and get in touch with their direct contacts. That's how we can control the spread and make sure the number of cases don't become unmanageable as we go through the process of starting to ease restrictions. And I can't stress how important that is. So as a weekend, please make sure you still come forward and get tested. You don't need to wait till Monday, because hours could be crucial. You could be unintentionally passing on the disease to others without even knowing it. So please make sure you come forward and get tested. And of course, from today, as we see restrictions ease, as we see people going or taking the opportunity to improve their isolation, improve their mental health and wellbeing by being able to visit loved ones, we ask you to do that with caution, and especially if you're with vulnerable people, people of a certain age or people who might have an existing underlying health issue. And please have those conversations before you go to visit someone's household. Talk about how you're going to manage the social distancing, how you're going to manage keeping everybody safe, and make sure you ask the questions. You shouldn't go to someone's home who's not well, and you certainly shouldn't be leaving your home if you're not well, and please make sure you follow those rules. Can I also say how pleased we are today to reveal that New South Wales, in an Australian first, has been able to produce heat maps, which will be live. I think they're already up on the website. This will provide important data on where the cases are, how many people have been tested in those areas, but also give a good picture to people who might live in a hotspot to make sure they're extra cautious and come forward and get tested. So these heat maps, as we call them, will be publicly available. They'll define the number of cases by postcode, so you'll be able to see down at that granular level. But also we appreciate what will give an important tool, an important source of information for people as we go through this process. And as we are easing restrictions, it's so important for us to keep the number of tests up, but to also make sure people are aware of what's happening in their own communities as they move around their own communities. Can I also say how grateful we are to all the businesses that have put up their hand to help in New South Wales. As you might recall, it feels like yesterday, but it was about a month ago when I called to arms all businesses to say we need medical supplies in New South Wales. Many of the markets we'd relied on, many of the supply chains we'd relied on no longer exist because of the pandemic. And we asked businesses to come forward who thought they might be able to assist New South Wales in getting medical supplies, or perhaps retooling, or involved in local manufacturing. And I'm pleased to say I have with me today the Deputy Premier, John Barilaro, and also the Minister for Investment and Jobs and Western Sydney, Stuart Ayres, to confirm that we've had 1,800 businesses come forward in New South Wales. The government's already contacted and proactively engaged with 1,600 businesses. And I can assure the community that now we have the prospect of getting some vital medical supplies and also establishing vital supply chains which will even exist beyond COVID. This has been a real opportunity for us to see what local industry is capable of, to see what depth we have in our business community, and I've been so heartened by the number of businesses that have come forward and offered innovative solutions. Now, we haven't been able to take up all of the 1,600 offers, but certainly we've been able to engage to understand what's out there, and some of those businesses have proved to be absolute gems in being able to provide vital PPE, which we know is necessary in fighting COVID, because you might have a bed, you might have a ventilator, but unless you have the PPE, that vital equipment that keeps our health workers safe, you can't really make sure you're treating the virus well. So this has been a very positive experience, and I want to thank the business community for that, and thank all the businesses that have come forward.